Hey guys, what is up? It's Conz here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a little bit of a new series. Basically, what the series is going to be, it's going to be me giving other leaders tips on how to be a successful leader. This could also work for people that want to get into leading a team. Basically, one thing I want to get out of the way is people are going to be like, oh, well, you only lead like a 200 subscriber team, so why should I take advice from you? And I'm not saying I'm successful or anything. I'm just trying to spread my opinions and help you guys. Like, you don't have to believe me, but I'm just people that need advice. I'm trying to give them advice. All right. So this is not my original idea. I got this idea from Scarce, and don't think I'm ripping him off or anything. I asked him on Twitter. I'll put a screenshot up. He said it was okay that I could use the series idea. He just said that I had to give him a little shout out. So yeah, leader of Obey Alliance, Scarce. He's a really cool guy. Check him out on Twitter. I'll put his Twitter, YouTube, everything down in the description. But go check him out. Yeah. And watch his videos too, because obviously he's a very successful leader and he knows what he's doing. So this episode I'm going to be talking about creating a team. So some of these things might not be useful to a lot of leaders if they're far into their team, but I would still listen because a lot of these tips might still be helpful. But yeah, if you were a player and you always thought, wow, I want to get into leading a team and that would be something I'm interested in, I would definitely consider watching this video. So one thing I want to say is, like, to start off, you need you and a couple leaders. Normally, what I've always done is I've had leaders that are close friends that I trust a lot. That being said, like, every clan I've started maybe 3 clans, and every one I've started out with having a very close friend as leader with me, and then sometimes those haven't worked out, and sometimes they've left, and then by then, you get to know people, and then you can start to trust more people, so obviously you can pick more leaders. But I would start out with about you and either 1 or 2 other friends, unless you already have a ton of players, and maybe you could even pick like you and 3 other leaders. But I would try and stick to it, you and 1 or you and 2 other overall leaders, and then pick up about 1 to 3 co-leaders that are either pretty good friends, like they don't have to be as good of friends as the overall leaders, but you still want to trust them, make sure that they're going to be hardworking and trustworthy people. These people, sometimes co-leaders can also be like not people that are going to be necessarily in your team, but say someone that's in a bigger team. But you have to make sure that they're actually going to recruit and promote your team, and that they're not just going to be like, yeah, I'll be co-leader of your team. Like, you ask them to be co-leader of your team, and then they just sit on the roster and never talk in the chat or do anything and just take up a roster spot. So you want to make sure that they're motivated, that they're actually going to do stuff, and if they aren't, don't be afraid to like tell them like you got to do something, or not you're going to have to kick them. So with your standards, what I've always done is I would start with a somewhat lower standard, like never put out a bad team episode or anything like that, but start out with lower standards. Like maybe if you're a sniping team, you can use some quad feeds and like player episodes, stuff like that. But just don't go out there trying to have standards of like a 50,000 subscriber team when you have like 10 subscribers, because obviously it's not going to work. Because all the people that have are good enough to have 50,000 subscriber standards, they're going to be in 50,000 subscriber teams, or unless if they're your really good friend, they'll be in your team. But yeah, that's what I just want to say. Make sure you start out with a little bit lower, and then as you gain subscribers and gain you gain your channel traffic, then work your way up to better and better standards. With managers, one thing I want to mention, don't get a ton of managers. The best is probably between like 2 to 3 managers, but here's the thing, I would rather have managers that are maybe in like 20,000 subscriber teams that will do work, will promote my team, and will get stuff done, rather than 3 managers that are all in 150k teams that sit there, look on the roster, and you put them in the chat and they never talk and they never do anything. That's all they do. They don't do work. So make sure you get managers, even if they're not that known or whatever. I don't really like that word, but whatever. If make sure they'll do work and they'll get everything done. A staff team, I've asked some of my friends about this. Savage, we don't have a staff team. I don't really like staff teams because a lot of the time all the uploads, the comments they get are like, this person so-and-so sent me, and that looks really dumb in my opinion. It looks stupid. Like, why would you just get a bunch of comments that are like, this staff member sent me, and like they're trying to work their way up to like lead staff or whatever, but it's stupid to me anyways. But if you do get a staff team, tell them not to do that. Tell them that they will you will notice their work, that they don't have to get their friends to comment like so and so sent me, because that makes your uploads look bad. Tell them that just to tell the people to say like sick or whatever, I guess, but make sure, like I said, that they are hardworking and dedicated. Don't get staff members again that are in a bigger team, or even just recruit staff members that are not going to do anything. They have to get each and every upload of yours views and likes and comments and just feedback. That's what they're there to do. If you're gonna have one, that's what you need them to do. Another thing that they might do, I don't know, maybe if you're not very good at business deals like sponsorships, partnerships, stuff like that, maybe some of the staff members could help out with that, like a lead staff member if you really trust them. But if not, I wouldn't have them handle business. I know in Savage, like anything businessy wise, I handle that because I'm the owner, obviously. But yeah, so on to the next part. This is going to be about, obviously, so when you make a new team, you're obviously going to make a YouTube channel, probably going to make a Twitter, right? So you definitely need a logo PSD, probably a YouTube like banner, a Twitter, like a Twitter header, and obviously a logo, and you probably want an intro, like a intro, maybe some overlays, stuff like that. Make sure, especially your logo PSD, like you need that to be good. Out of everything else, I mean, your background, your Twitter header and YouTube background don't have to be amazing, but you want your logo PSD to be good. If you even have to, you might have to spend some money. Make sure you get a good designer and he makes good logos, and get one, and ask him just how much it is. I guarantee it'll be less than $5, but it'll be worth it, because as soon as somebody clicks on your team and they see that crappy little logo that was made by your friend that just started graphics 2 weeks ago, and it looks horrible and you can't design much on it, and you can't like customize it that well, that was what I was trying to say, they're not going to want to watch your videos. They're instantly going to think you guys aren't good. If you have a good looking logo, especially on your team channel, and then you have one that is customizable well, like you can customize it well for the players so that they'll like that a lot, it's going to help your team. Trust me, it's going to be worth the $5, especially if you get a partnership. You're going to make your money back. The YouTube banner, like Twitter header, and I wouldn't pay for that unless they were like, hey, if you want to pay an extra $1, we'll throw in a YouTube banner and Twitter header. I would do that. But if they're gonna like want to charge a lot for that, I wouldn't do that. For an intro, I would maybe pay for that. Unless you know someone, obviously. If you know someone that you can do it, don't buy one. But that can do it well, don't buy one. But intro is also a thing that if you have a good intro, like people are gonna stay and want to watch your videos. Yeah, that's what I just wanted to say. Yeah, make sure. So to recap that, make sure that the logo, like the editable, the one that you edit, the PSD file, is good, and the intro, and then the other ones, I mean, it helps, but those two are the most important. So for your first team episode or team Taj, it all depends. I know a lot of people, if you like team Tages, some people do like a opening team Taj that's a mix of trick shots and snipers. Some people just do like an opening cams. It depends what your team's oriented on, trick shots or sniping. Most teams aren't really balanced. They have more, like they're more known for one thing. Savage is more of a trick shotting team. We only have a few snipers. So we've put out 3 cams episodes, and our 4th one is ready to go up. And we still don't have like one sniping episode done. But I mean, that brings me into another thing I'll talk about later. But yeah, so for your first team Taj, you need a good editor. You could even pay someone for this too if you don't know someone. this is investments. They may or may not pay off, but I guarantee it's going to be worth it. Like, just for you, like, to make sure that your team looks good and you're gonna like it, even if you have to pay like $5-10 for a first team Taj edit. Like, you'll feel good about it. You don't have to have all gamertag clips, like say for example Savage person and then like their name. You don't have to for your first team episode. After that, I would have a majority of those. It makes your team look bad when all your clips are from another team's gamertag. It makes you look like you have a lot of clan hoppers and stuff. Sorry about that, I have a little cold. The next thing I wanted to mention was, for team episodes, some people like to mix them. I know Genesis, the clan, they mix all theirs, but I personally like to keep them separate. The only time I mix them is for like a milestone team Taj, like a 1K team Taj or something like that. Then I'll mix them. But if it's just like our Savage cams or whatever, then we'll just keep them separate. The last thing I think I'm going to talk about is getting players here. The gameplay is running down to an end. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. To recruit players, I would ask a lot of your friends if they want to join, or if they have friends that would want to join. If they see that your team's organized and that you're doing well and that all the people in your team have fun, they'll probably join even if you're in a better team, because everyone just wants to have fun. Like, I know everyone's goal is to get big, but they'd probably rather join if they see that you're having fun. Also, I would look on community channels for underrated players, and also ask the leaders to look on community channels. But make sure that the person has not just hit one lucky clip, that they have consistently good clips. Don't recruit someone off just one clip. But yeah, that's basically all I wanted to talk about. I think I touched on a little bit of everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know there's not a ton of leaders out there, but I know Scarce's series really inspired me because it helped me a lot in leading, and I just wanted to share my opinions with everyone. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you next episode. Peace, guys.